Stampin' friends, it's Ayana Johnston here with another check this out video tutorial. Today I want to show you how I made this navy and gold embellished Christmas card. You can get the supply list for this card on my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net. Be sure to stop by my website for some more great ideas and some great customer order specials. Right now I have a Christmas special, 15% off your entire order now through December 24th, 2015. Okay, so let's get started making this card. To make today's card, you're going to need two stamp sets. The first one you're going to need is the Embellished Ornament stamp set, and we'll be using this huge ornament right down below, and then we'll be using the sentiment and this holly. Then we'll also be using the Wonderland stamp set, and we'll be using the sentiment, all is calm and all is bright. You'll also need the decorative ornament thinlits. They come as a bundle with the Embellished Ornament set. Great deal. Then we'll be using two stamp sets. We'll be using the Garden Green and the Night of Navy, as well as some embossing powder, clear embossing powder. For paper, we're going to need the following. We'll need 2 sheets of the Night of Navy. One of these sheets you're going to want to cut at 5.5 by 8.5 and score it at 4.25. Then another piece you're going to need cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Then we're going to need 4 pieces of the Winter Wonderland Designer Series paper. One of these sheets of paper you're going to want to cut 4 by 4, and then another piece you're going to want to cut at 1/4 inch by 5.25 inches. Another one at 1/2 inch by 5.25 inches. And then the last one, you're going to want to cut this one at 4 inches by 5.25. Next, you'll need 3 pieces of Very Vanilla. You're going to want to cut one at 4 by 5.25. Then you're also going to want to cut another one at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then this last one you're going to want to cut at 4 by 4. This piece of Very Vanilla is for the inside of your card. Then we'll need a couple scrap pieces of paper. We're going to need a sheet of Night of Navy and a sheet of Very Vanilla. You need a long one for the Very Vanilla to fit the all is calm sentiment. Okay, so let's get started making this card. First, I'm going to go ahead and take my piercing mat and I'm going to stamp my ornament and I'm going to emboss it. I'm going to stamp it with Night of Navy. Once I stamp it real quick, I'm going to quickly go over and spread some embossing powder on it to get that emboss on there quickly before it dries. And then I'm going to also take my 3 3/4 sheet of paper of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my holly at the top. And sorry, this is my sheet of Very Vanilla cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to use Garden Green. I'm going to stamp my holly quickly, and then I'm going to throw some embossing powder on it and heat emboss that as well. Look at that, look how beautiful. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge and I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges of this with the Night of Navy. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my framelit from this set. I'm going to take the ornament framelit and I'm going to run it through my big shot. There I have that ornament. I'm going to set this aside. And then next I'm going to go ahead and stamp All Is Calm on my scrap piece of Very Vanilla in Night of Navy, and then I'm going to also cut it out and ink around the edges. Oh, and since I got a little edge around there, I'm going to flip it over and do it one more time. Okay, now I'm just going to use my paper snips. Not my paper snips, my larger scissors. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out with my scrap piece of Night of Navy. I need to cut out this nice poinsettia looking framelit and then 2 tree toppers, which I've already done to save some time. I'm going to set those aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my piece of 4x4 Designer Series paper, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out another ornament with my Big Shot. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my other ornament, and I'm going to pull out all my pieces that I have. So now I can start adhering my card base together. I'm going to glue this ornament, or this poinsettia, right on the ornament, and I'm going to glue on my tree toppers, and then I'm going to adhere all of these pieces to my card base. And last, I'm going to go ahead and tie a couple bows with my gold cording and adhere them on using some glue dots. And there you go. For those of you that like to stamp the inside of your card, I did so on this one. So all I did was I took my pieces of Very Vanilla that I had on that card, and I stamped the corner of it with the ornament and a sentiment in the middle. And then I adhere this on the bottom. And I had one other little gold strip. That I adhered. And use two-way glue, monotomo glue. Looking for my glue. I like the two-way glue for these smaller strips. And then you can adhere it to your card using some stamp. Okay. I'll just give that a few minutes to dry, and it's all good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Be sure to stop by my blog for some other great ideas and my great Christmas special going on through December 24th, 2015. Happy stamping!